get started now. Again, my name is Harry Rock, and I am from Massachusetts, all the way from the East Coast. I like that little drumming going on on behalf of my name, Harry Rock. But we are thrilled to be here today at the opening ceremony and ribbon cutting dedication for the tiny homes here on the Morning Star Village in Dupree, South Dakota. We're located in the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe Reservation at the YMCA of the 7 Council Fires. So let's hear a big cheer for being here today, everybody. Let's hear some noise. And you know what? This is a true celebratory, historic moment. I know that inside of you, we can do better than that, because we have people tuning in live from all over the United States right now, watching us, hundreds and hundreds of alumni, YMCA alumni members. I want them to hear you from their window. So let's make some noise. I love it, I love it, I love it. Well, in the true significance of our cultural representation here, I'm going to invite Ben Elk Eagle for an opening prayer. So Ben, if you can come forward, please. Actually, Ben, we're going to bring a mic to you.
Thank you. It's good to see all of you for the first time, and some of them I've seen before. It seems like we're always happy when we're together. And, you are part of everything. And we made Dupree a big place because I travel a lot, and a lot of people asked about, where's the Sioux YMCA? So I said, it's in Dupree, South Dakota. They said, we heard about Dupree, and I think that's a big place to visit. So I see that some of them can visit the Y, and pretty helpful to all of us. And I really enjoy seeing that we all work together in our journey. So I'd like to share a prayer with all of you. Hawakantuka. I'm glad to know our state election. We are taking Kawita with the Captain in Dakota, Western Oak, in Ohio, and go to God, thank you for all of us that you have given us today on coming here and making our little hometown a place to people to come and see this ways of life and all the people that have resided all the years, so that we could all be kind to each other, work together, and we appreciate everything that we have done. We appreciate everything that the police have us, and we'll come again soon in the future to be part of this. And so I'd like to say, Itaku.
And what we're seeing right now is the start of the smudging ceremony. Smudging is a spiritual purification ceremony in which sacred herbs are burned during meditation and prayer to restore internal balance and purity. The smoke carries prayers to the spirit world. They will be moving from tiny home to tiny home. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. I am going to ask the head of this drum group, Wakia Maza, thank you so much for being here, just to give us a quick explanation for the people that are tuning in, what they have just seen in the scene of this.
Wakia Maza Tiosh by Nat and Iho Wahan Tiosh by Macha. Gakia Mamko Wakpa and Awati. Wakia Maza Chanchecha King Mija Oyanka Ki. Betikile Otit Hake Yaoni Hake na Opa King Teki. Manieta ota ke omani ke washi tanka ke relatives quick like they said I have a minute, so I'm trying to do this fast. On the drum, I watch over our drum. It was named for our home community, our Tioshpai Iron Lightning, and one of the things that we do is we stay home and we try to support everything that happens in our homeland here of Wakapawashte or Yanke. Our slang term is they call us Sioux or Indians or something. But anyway. Our name is Good River People, is where we come from. And I also come from the Cook side, or they shorten it from Cooks with Guts. I come from there, so I represent both sides. The community, and my aunties are always say the significance is to come without malice in your heart, no alcohol, no drugs, and no violence, no politics, that we just come and sing for people from our hearts. Sing with a good heart and talk with a good heart. And so, again, this responsibility, I had to ask my aunties from the Iron Lightning, and those are what they said is that we have to stay home and help here where we can for whatever we sing for. Iwang Wachi Sundances, those on Chanku, Nahi, Chimaniki, those that are traveling on the whole pass away. Yaoni anything that's being honored like today, school things, everything. Namings, Chaje, Kakapike, creating names and helping with pretty much everything we can. So, I know just a little bit of our Lakota language and our ways, and also the natural laws, and try to balance it with the mainstream ways. So with that, I'll say thank you for inviting us. It's a great privilege.
Thank you so very, very much. A nice round of applause for everybody here. All right. Again, we're welcoming live streamers from across the United States just to kind of get everybody reoriented. I'm Harry Rock. I'm from Massachusetts, the great New England chapter of YMCA Alumni, and just excited to be here. This is the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Tiny Home Project, which has been going on now for 5 years, believe it or not. So in the audience, and I'm kind of speaking to two groups, so those of you who are with me here are going to have to understand that I'm also talking to a camera and welcoming people from across the nation, because they don't know what I'm looking at and they can only see where the camera is directed right now. But in the audience we have YMCA staff, we have board members, trustee members, YMCA alumni members. We're all the ones in the yellow shirts, and you'll notice on the backs it says National Service Project YMCA Alumni, so that's our crew that's been doing this for the last 4 years here to build these. And we've got volunteers from Wave 4, some of whom are YMCA people and many of whom are not. I was talking with a large church group this morning and very moved with their commitment to this. And then also members of the community. To kind of give you, especially those of you who are live streaming, we have a gorgeous day here in Dupree right now. It's probably about 70 degrees or so. There isn't a cloud in the sky. We have a lovely breeze coming across. A sharp contrast to the rains we had earlier in the week, which turned, this is mud like I have never seen before. Very slippery, and it sticks to your shoes. But everything has dried out. We have covered everything with straw, and we just have an absolutely gorgeous setting right now. But we are thrilled to have you here. I definitely want to offer special thanks to our media specialist, Zach Philco, back there behind the camera, pulling the live stream. So thank you, Zach, for coming from New York City with your camera equipment and computers and everything else. We've had a few challenges getting you online, but it's all worked, and you're doing a phenomenal job. And thanks to all the volunteers who have supported him. It should be noted that we will have a couple of videos about these proceedings, so those of you who maybe have tuned in late or want to watch this again, we will have those, and we'll be sharing those in the future. I wanted to give you a sense. Now again, the people that are with me here know exactly what I'm looking at, but the people who are looking through their iPads and screens and their cell phones really only see me right now. And as I talk, I'm going to ask Zach to pan the camera from left to right to just see what this tiny home village looks like. But I am standing in front of the south home. There are 4 homes here. I'm in front of the south home. The 4 homes all face east. I'm sorry, the west. Well, that's because I'm from Massachusetts. I really don't know where my orientation is. But I am in front of, I'm looking at the east home. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the east. But I'm standing in front of the west home. Thank you for that correction. All the 4 homes are facing east to receive the morning sun. The homes are positioned around the medicine wheel on the north, south, east, and west corners of the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel represents the circle of life with its 4 colors representing the 4 seasons. The medicine wheel teaches that harmony, balance, and respect for all parts are needed to sustain life. The casting or throwing of the wheel represents the connection between heaven and earth. The casting shows that humans are the inheritors of the earth. There are 4 colored flags that you will notice as Zach pans around at various times, that are positioned in front of each home representing the colors of the medicine wheel. So the north home is white, the south is red, the east is yellow, and the west, where I am standing, is black. So we do have I just want to recognize some people in the audience. We do have some speakers coming up later, but I just want to recognize in the audience, and I will ask that they stand, members of the Board of Directors with Chairman Shane Farley. If all the board members would please stand to be recognized. And most of them are wearing these beautiful brown vests, and it really represents, they've got the symbol of the YMCA, and thank you so much for your service. The other group that I would ask to stand are the Board of Trustees with Chairperson Annie Coombs. If they would all stand, the trustees. And we thank all of you for your volunteer service, because without volunteers, organizations like this Y and other nonprofits around the country would not be able to operate. So we thank you for your dedicated service because you choose to do it, not because you have to do it. Obviously, one of special thanks to Akio Maza for the drum circle here, and and I loved your explanation. Thank you so very much. We've also had dancers Jackie Bird here. Earlier, you have not seen that, I don't believe, and Ahani Knight. I don't think they're right around me for she is. Ahani is. Oh, there's Ahani. Right here. She's waving from the back and Zach cannot see her. It's okay. So this is a special time to celebrate the completion of the 4 tiny homes in a transformational partnership with the YMCA, the 7 council fires. Our YMCA members are increasing the capacity of this YMCA to meet its mission of providing transitional housing for families by fundraising and the building of these 4 tiny homes. And that has been our commitment as YMCA alumni. This will create a meaningful, transformational, long-term impact for decades to come. It's hard to believe how far this project has come since 2020 with the start of COVID, when Lou Falk, who is our national chair, service project chair, was asked to create a study committee to identify a national service project by YMCA alumni president Dave Packer. There were 37 projects that were submitted, and they were all vetted against a very specific list of criteria from the study committee to really have a transparent and forthright vetting and testing to ensure that we were picking the right project. The Allen Stone chapter from YMCA alumni presented the idea of the tiny homes. When it was presented to the YMCA alumni membership, it was universally accepted. There was so much excitement about this particular idea and the broad appeal it had in helping the YMCA, at that time Sioux YMCA, but as we now know it, the YMCA, the 7 Council Fires. George Painter, upon hearing about this project, immediately volunteered. He stepped up. He wasn't asked. He stepped up because he believed in it, and he was excited to be able to use his skills and his desire to make a difference in the lives of other people. And he has been our project manager, and how lucky we have had to have him and his willingness to sacrifice his personal life. And we say special thanks to his wife because he's been gone an awful lot. There were 22 waves, and what we call waves are work weeks. They went from basically Tuesday to Tuesday. So those 22 waves over the last 4 years is all the time that he was here on his own. Time that he had to come here ahead of time and stay after with all the planning and coordination of making this happen. And of course, nothing happens without a lot of meetings. And anybody that's part of the YMCA world knows we do meetings really, really well. And we love them. Gary Graham volunteered, another person, stepped up, not asked, stepped up because he heard about it and he was excited to head up the fundraising effort. And it has raised a staggering $1 million. And that deserves a round of applause. $1 million. Thank you so very much. A lot of people didn't think we could do it because these were not large gifts. These were small gifts. But the outpouring of support from 700 donors across the United States, YMCA alumni members and YMCA active duty people and private people. The appeal was amazing, and to see 700 donors step up, and we have raised over $1 million, and no loans, no mortgages, fully paid for. Because of the fundraising process, we were able to abandon the idea. Our original idea was to take shipping containers and line them with straw for insulation, and those were going to be the homes. But as the money started coming in, we started raising our sights much higher and felt that we could do something on a much greater scale. And as you look around here, I think we've succeeded. We have created a place where people can live with dignity, with happiness, with joy in raising their families, and know that they are safe and they're well taken care of, and that they've got a home that was built with love from a lot of people that they have never met. These homes are 465 square feet approximately. They're made out of what we call SIP panels. Those are structural insulated panels that would be, and these are fully furnished with all the appliances, beds, tables, chairs, so a family can move in without having to worry about any of those types of things. 350 volunteer workers have traveled here over the last 4 years, 350, to the Morningstar Village on their own expense. Their hotels, their airlines, their meals, their rental cars, to work in the rain, in the cold, the hot sun, in the mud. It has been a passion for us to be a part of this project, and we're really excited. Last night at our dedication dinner that we had, I referenced the movie Field of Dreams. And I said, we have our own field of dreams here. For all of us here, if we look to the east, making sure I've got my orientations correctly, we see, and those of you probably can't see it on the live stream, but what I'm looking at are large spans of grasslands. That's our field of dreams. And we had a dream, and the YMCA gave us a field. And so what we have here is our field of dreams, and we're excited about it. So let's have a round of applause for that. So on May 19th, 2022, the first wave arrived on site to clear brush, overgrowth, and organize the shipping containers that you see up here that say YMCA Alumni National Service Project. There's 3 of them here on site right now. Those containers are filled with all our tools and our supplies. And there's been consistent. What's really significant about this project is that there's 17 chapters across the United States for YMCA Alumni. Every one of those chapters has been represented by people consistently over the 5 years that we started this when our study group got going. And every meeting that we have held, and we have meetings every month, multiple meetings, never ever do we have people just saying, I'm not joining. We always have full attendance. It's been incredibly joyful for me to be a part of this and see that level of commitment that we have had. The involvement of this project has been so special because of YMCA alumni, and it's not just YMCA alumni. I really want to get across the fact that it's been family members, friends, church groups, colleges, Habitat for Humanity, construction workers, and local residents with a truly intergenerational effort, including males and females of all ages. And to see all ages, doesn't matter whether you're male or female, pushing shovels and hauling hay and hauling SIP panels, everybody jumped in and did their part. Margaret Mead stated, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. Our own national project chair, Lou Falk, quoted, YMCA alumni volunteers will be remembered as the people who build houses because of our efforts of home building in the Dominican Republic, where we have built 23 homes, and now these 4 homes on the reservation. YMCA alumni members will be known as people who build homes for other people, to make a difference, to ensure that their quality of life is as good as it can be, and to make this world a better place. We've got some speakers here that I want to introduce and bring to the podium up here, the lectern. Tribe Chairman LeBeau, I believe, is here. If you would come forward, please.
I'm Ryman LeBeau. I'm the chairman of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, and I would like to thank you all for making this a possibility for our people, making this a reality. These are beautiful homes, awesome site, and before I go any further, I got a long speech, but before I go any further, I just wanted to, let's do a round of applause for everyone that made this happen for the Oyate. And you know, I have, they invited me over, and I thank those that invited us. They had the YMCA staff calling the office and telling us this is going on, which day to show up and all that stuff. And of course, you know, Des and Ali, everything. This is our staff that texts me. So I knew it was a big deal, and it is. Housing is a huge deal on our reservation, and we have a housing shortage that we face. And we're trying to fix that. We're trying to address that need for our people, definitely. And we've been working with our housing authority, the Cheyenne River Housing Authority, and we've been telling Congress and we've been telling the administration that there's a housing shortage here. And it's serious. The United States needs to provide the funding to build homes for our people. That's part of their trust and treaty responsibility. We just went up there to Washington, D.C. the other week, and we met with the Secretary Scott Turner of the Housing Urban Development. And we told him, hey, you need to come out here to Cheyenne River, you need to come out here to the Great Plains, because housing is different out here. It's very rural, and we have one of the biggest reservations in Indian country. We've got the 4th largest reservation, and we need the housing funding to help our people. We face a shortage of over 600 families that are in need. And if you just imagine that those are the families that are continuously applying at Housing Authority every year to renew their applications, and just imagine where are they? You know, they're in another home with another family, crowded, facing that housing shortage. So I'm really thankful for this project, and to see this success today, I commend you. I appreciate the hard work of everyone that made it possible. I appreciate the collaboration and all those workers that made this possible. I know there's some here today, so I thank you for taking your time to build these beautiful homes for our people. We appreciate you. On behalf of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, we say Wopula Tonka for all the work that you've put in here. And I'm really thankful too they gave me this vest and this hat. And now I'm ready for the rallies. Again, I'm really thankful. Appreciate you all for making this happen. Behind me is not just a set of tiny homes; it's a set of opportunity for our people. Opportunity. It's also hope. It's also a new future, a new beginning for Loyate. So we really appreciate all this, and we thank everyone for making this happen. So again, Wopula Tonka, Chicha Plo, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I have a small gift, a token of our appreciation, so thank you for your service, and it's truly our blessing and our privilege to be here to work with you. Thank you so much. All right, moving on. Annie Coombs, who is the chair of our trustees. She has a lot to say. We're excited about having her up here. And if there is anyone that exudes enthusiasm and excitement and passion, it is this fine lady. So thank you so much for all your service and your volunteer work here as the chair of the trustees.
Thank you. I don't know how I'm going to follow that act. I'll try. So hi, I'm Annie Coombs. I'm from New York City, and I first came to the Cheyenne River Reservation almost 30 years ago as a camper with the YMCA, with the Beckett Chimney Corners YMCA on a leadership and training program. At that time, we didn't spend much time here in Dupree because all they had was the log cabin building. We spent 2 nights here on the floor running daycare by day, sleeping there by night. And then we went to Cherry Creek for a couple of weeks. We stayed in a community building there, and same in Whitehorse. We ran daycare there and built a playground. After our 2 weeks in Cherry Creek, the last night, one of the community members invited our group in for dinner and some board games. And it was then that I realized that the Y provides this phenomenal bridge between the dominant society, the outside world, and this beautiful reservation, which we otherwise wouldn't know how to engage with. On that trip, I traveled with Zoe Maliaros, who's still here on the reservation coming back, and I met Ben Eagle, who's sitting over here, who over the years has become like family to me. That trip left an imprint in my heart, and I wanted to know more about this reservation, about the culture, about the indigenous people of the United States. understand the history of colonization and what it had done to this population. Throughout my education, I've studied more about Native American history. I've come back and visited. I visit again. I visit again. And I just keep coming back, building relationships, making friends, observing, learning more. And I'm so incredibly grateful for the gift of insight that this YMCA has offered me here, because I don't think I could have taken one trip here without this Y. Over the years, this Y has grown, and it's been a pleasure to watch it grow. That volunteer house was built a little over 10 years ago, and I think without that volunteer house, this project wouldn't be possible. So it's really incredible to watch what an organization can do as it grows. I'm not a Y executive like many of the National Service Project people, or even any of my many of the fellow trustees for the board of directors or trustees here. I am instead an architect, but I am chairperson of the board of trustees. I wear two hats. Anyway, in 2019, Andrew called me and he asked if I would collaborate on a tiny home project in a twig, which is a small outpost of the Y, for those who don't know. And I was absolutely thrilled to get that call. I didn't know where this road would lead, but I knew I wanted to be on it. The tiny homes were built to fulfill a dire need for housing here on Cheyenne River, as Chairman LeBeau was articulating. There's not enough housing here, and many of it was built without the community's needs in mind. The reservation has a housing shortage. Sorry, the wind is not my friend here. The reservation has a housing shortage, and many people live in overcrowded homes or unsafe living conditions. And it's not uncommon to have over 20 people living in a home, like the chairman was saying. If you can't find a house, then you live with your family, and maybe that house didn't have room for you, or whatever it is. The Morningstar community, tiny home community, fulfills a need to have young people cultivate their independence. The design was generated with the community, such that Lakota values and culture is embedded within the design and the space. The concept itself was explained to me by Ben Elkeagle a few years ago. We were sitting here, we set up 2 chairs over there, and they were putting up this house behind me, and Ben said to me, he said, "This project came to us through our dreams, and the spirits bought the dreams, and the spirits brought the right people here to do the right thing, to build these houses, and now they exist." And it really, I don't know, it was amazing to me, Ben's viewpoint of how we got here today, and that the spirits really started this, the dreams and whatnot. But anyway, we're here. And I just want to point out a few things here that I personally love that are part of these homes that really came from the input from people I spoke with when designing the homes. So the first is this beautiful artwork around here, which I couldn't have done myself. I just provided a blank canvas and asked the Y if they could find artists, and they did. Beautiful, talented artists. We've got Will Lovejoy's artwork here to the east, and Tammy Joy art here to the south, and we have Leland Benoist here to the north. I think the artwork, I hope, will help people feel that these houses are for them and they're not just built as a place to live, but rather a place to be in and to collaborate and to feel safe and to feel like home. Other design elements that were really interesting to me in the design process was I was told that the houses should be in a circle. I understood the medicine wheel was a circle and we needed circles. So I immediately thought all the houses would face in towards the center. And Ben said no. Ben said the traditional teepee camp, that all of the entrances faced east or southeast to greet the morning star, the brightest star in the sky. Representing, I'm going to botch this, so maybe Ben would say it better, but the morning star representing the connection between the spirit world and the living world. So we have all of these porches facing this beautiful view east with a round window above me to represent the circle of life. And there's so much more I could go into, and I won't bore you with it, but I'll just say that I might be the architect of this technically, but really many people's voices went into the design of this home, and many of your hands went into the building of this home. I firmly believe that with a home that responds to the community, plus the support of the YMCA, the residents of these homes will thrive. I first want to acknowledge each and every person here for their contribution, whether small or large, to this project, because it certainly didn't take one person, or I guess maybe it took 350, was that what you said? A lot of folks made this happen. Your dedication and your thought and care is what made these homes so special. I specifically want to thank Andrew Corley, there you are. Andrew believed in this project when many people said it couldn't happen, or it wouldn't work, or God knows what else they said. He believed and he continued forward, and here we are today. So thank you, Andy. I also want to thank the board of directors who believed in this project. Their insight was our guiding light for the project, and they were with us, or we worked together every step of the way. Specifically, I want to thank Allie Moran, who was like my spirit and guiding light. Every time I had a question, I asked her. She's there for me. Ben Elk Eagle, obviously. Thank you to Ben for all of your insight and support. I want to thank George Painter, who, man, talk about dedication. Just keeps coming. There you are, George. Your dedication is unparalleled, incredible, and we are grateful for it. I want Lou Falk and Gary Graham and the fundraising team. Obviously, we couldn't have done it without the money. So thank you. I want to thank Jay Clark over here for dotting our I's and crossing our T's and really making sure that these homes were buttoned up and ready to go. Spence, who poured the foundations. Without them, we'd have no buildings. Zoe, my co-collaborator on housing research. Couldn't have done it without you and those many projects we did. Carol Mann for being my community whisperer and telling me how things work around here. Get upset and not to get upset. But everybody who touched these homes made them what they are. In closing, though, I want to say the work doesn't stop here. At home in New York, with the history of genocide and forced relocations, many people forget that there were Indigenous people there first. But now that I understand, and now I'm talking to the NSP folks and the visitors who have come, now that you understand, there are vibrant Indigenous communities in the United States who have been dealt physical and political injustices throughout history. Now that you understand that on your trips, now that you've seen the beauty of the culture and the horror of what the U.S. government has done to them and their land, I ask you not to forget about Cheyenne River. I ask you not to forget about the good work that the YMCA is doing here on this reservation. Beyond not forgetting, I'm asking you to do something about it. And whether that's just sharing with people what your experience was out here and what you've learned, or continuing your financial support or your volunteer support for the YMCA of the 7 Council Fires or the reservation as a whole, this Y needs all hands on deck, and this reservation needs your sustained attention. I have 2 young children, which makes me think a lot about the world that I want to leave for them. It also means I read a lot of children's books, and the last line of the Lorax by Dr. Sioux seems very appropriate here. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to change. It's not. So please keep up the good work. Thank you.
Annie, we have a small token of our appreciation. It's very small in consideration of everything you've done, and to have an architect believe in this project and to make this what it is. We just thank you so much. Thank you for your leadership to the board and to this association here. It's amazing. We have former board chair, Allie Moran. Allie, I'd love to have you come up just quickly for a couple of brief words of welcome, and excited to have you with us as well.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Allie Moran and I am I'm the former board chair of the YMCA of the 7 Council Fires. It's an honor to be here today, standing in front of you all on our very beautiful Morningstar community. I was the board chair when this project was started back in 2020. I was teasing with Andy. He was like we had nothing else going on during that time. It's been a long time coming, and I just want to say Lila Wopila Tanka Ichiche, thank you so much to each and every single one of you who has come here to Cheyenne River to help build these tiny homes, to help break the ground for our tiny homes and create this very beautiful, vibrant, positive community for our community members here on Cheyenne River. There's so much I want to say about the community that we have here, but I'm just very thankful that we have these safe, beautiful homes for our young mothers, our young fathers, our young families to live in safely and to thrive. And I think that was a common goal of all of ours, is to provide that safe space, to provide a safe home for our people, because our people deserve good homes. These are the highest quality products that we have, highest quality materials that we have in these homes, and I'm very proud of them. And I just want to say thank you again to all of you who helped put up this beam right here, put in this floor here, put in the windows that will withstand the elements of our harsh winters and our hot summers that we experience here in the Dakotas. And I just want to say again, this is not only beneficial for our current generation now, but our future generations. And I was watching the little ones earlier sit here, and they were eating, and it just really made my chante, it really made my heart happy, because that's the reason why we do the work that we do. We do it for the Wakayaja, we do it for the children, and these homes will be here to provide safe space for them. And I hope that in the future we can also put safe homes and tiny homes out in our remaining communities, because as I've said, our people, we do deserve good housing, we deserve good homes that will last. And these are just 4 small tiny homes that we have here, but we did it, guys. We did it, everyone. We put a dent in our housing deficit here on Cheyenne River, and we should all be proud of that. And this is just the beginning. This isn't a quick fix for a long-term problem. This is the beginning of a strategic plan for a long-term solution, a sustainable solution for our people. And I just, again, thank you all so much for all the love that you poured into these homes, to the foundation. Thank you for all the love that you're giving to my people of Wakpawashte Oyanke, the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. And thank you so much for making that sacrifice and traveling here and being away from your loved ones and your family members. Thank you for putting that time in for our people and putting that work in for our people. And thank you so much for everything. Dokshake, thank you.
Allie, thank you so very, very much. I remember, Allie, from those early meetings when we were first getting started 5 years ago, and I actually met you at Springfield College. I believe you traveled out with Andrew. So thank you so much for that heartfelt message. And please know it's our privilege and our joy to do this. Next, any organization doesn't exist unless it has strong leadership. Leadership that's committed, leadership that believes, leadership that's dedicated, and leadership that wants to truly make a difference. And here at the YMCA of the 7 Council Fires, you have that leader, Andrew Corley. I don't know him well. I've spent more time with him in the last couple of days here than I have in the last 5 years, other than seeing him on Zoom calls. But I was so impressed to listen to his commitment and how many years he's been here and his dedication for the work that's to be done here. And I think that this is why the Board of Trustees, the Board of Directors, we can have the greatest aspirations, but we don't have the leaders at the staff level to pull it off and make it happen. It doesn't happen. And Andrew Corley, we thank you for your service, your dedication, and everything you've done. And I'd like to invite you up for a few comments for what this means to your association.
Got it. got to power on my notebook. Thought I was saving the environment, but I think it draws more electricity than trees I would kill using it.
Turn it on, will you?
It is on. Test. All right. Thank you all for being here at the Oshete-Shakwan YMCA. I know it's not easy to get to the YMCA 7 Council Fires, but you all did it. And for those of you who can't be here, thank you for joining the live stream. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew Corley. I'm really shy and unapproachable, but I want to welcome you all here. We have these 4 beautiful homes. I was trying to figure out words to describe them. If this was HGTV, they probably would say, quaint minimalist listings with an amazing $1 million view. And these homes do have over $1 million into them. I want to thank the board members, board of directors, board of trustees, the incredible staff, Chairman LeBeau, who are all wearing amazing vests. They will be on sale after this ceremony. Thank you to our partners at YMCA Alumni, National Service Projects, everyone in these beautiful yellow shirts. If you're from the community, say thank you to them afterwards. They put in so many blood, sweat, and tears into making these 4 homes a reality. They've traveled all across America, not just the States, but North America as well. And with these partners, we wouldn't be opening up the Morning Star Village today. We'd be standing in an open field, which would make a very awkward ribbon cutting ceremony. Shout out to the UCC church crew for just leaving their services and just coming straight here. Thank you to Jackie Bird for showing off the different dance styles, hoop dancing, and songs. Thank you to Ahani, who's always my MVP whenever we got an event. It's amazing to see you go from a camper to this very talented dancer. Now, I'm just a simple guy, so I had to boil this project down so it made sense to me. When I first was asked why we were trying to do this, I did live 2 years in a FEMA trailer. And spending a winter in that with the studs cut in half, seeing the wind and the snow blowing through in the wintertime, I knew that it wasn't enough. And Allie Moran and I talked many years about it and how we needed to have something that was decent and acceptable. And that's why we've got these 8-inch thick homes built for northern Canada's territories, so that should suffice for these cold, cold Dakota winters. So I looked at this as a recipe. I kind of stole this idea from the Rusticas. I had to scale this recipe by 4, so the numbers might not make that much sense. But first, you need a pinch of incredible staff, a baker dozens of board of directors, 2 dozen board of trustees, a metric ton of John Rustica's cookies, 350 volunteers, 608 donors, cook it for 22 work weeks, and let it sit for 5 years. Then you gotta ice it with some beautiful ribbons, and you have this perfect village here. On the seats were friendship bracelets in the 4 direction colors, so you all could take something from today home with you. What's so beautiful about this project is this makes it everyone's YMCA. The YMCA isn't just about a place, it's the people, and we've got some amazing, beautiful people in the crowd today. Thank you all for making this happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your leadership, your dedication, and to the work of your staff, because without them, this doesn't happen. So next, we are YMCA Alumni. We're the National Service Project, but we have no authorization to do anything unless we are blessed and authorized by our National Board of Directors. And representing your National Board of Directors is Phil Morgan. So Phil, I'd like to ask you to come up and deliver a few comments, if you would. Phil is from North Carolina.
Thank you, Harry. It is great to be here. Thank you. And I want to say on behalf of the 1,500 members of YMCA Alumni, and several were on this site today, and all of those live streaming, watching, we just want to thank you and I am honored to be here representing YMCA Alumni. You know, in just a moment, we will be witnessing the ribbon cutting. It's coming very soon. And the dedication of these 4 tiny homes to the YMCA of the 7 Council Fires. It's all very exciting. Much has been said. There's been a lot of work done. We are here in the moment. The families that are going to be living in this YMCA Morningstar community will be so appreciative when they move in and when they are able to be in these homes and live in these homes as families and know that they are supported by their friends, by this community, and by this YMCA. I just want to say to the past and the present YMCA alumni boards, thank you for the approval of moving forward with this project. And I especially want to thank past President Dale Packer and Gene Carmichael, who were the presidents before me, along with the board, for saying, yes, let's do it. This is approved. This is what we do. We connect, we travel, and we serve, and we are serving. Let me close by saying a thank you. Thank you to over 350 volunteers, 608 donors, and you've heard those numbers, but they are significant. Individually, everyone is making their own decision to be here, to contribute if they could not be here, but they are a part of the community of these tiny homes. And they have made, through the time spent, the volunteers and the donors, through the time, their skills, the effort, and their treasure to make all of this happen. So very soon, we're going to be having the ribbon cutting, and I'm making this short. Let's continue with the program.
Thank you, Bill. We have a small token of our appreciation for your service. Thank you so much for the work you do for YMCA Alumni. We really greatly appreciate it, and without you, we don't happen. So appreciate all of your support. You know, I also wanted to, and I think Zach has been scanning, panning across these homes, and Annie mentioned it. There are paintings on the side of these homes, all 3 sides other than the front porch, which is where I'm standing. They're all individual. They were done by native, local artisans. They are absolutely gorgeous. So there would be actually 12 paintings here in this village alone. And those of you who are tuning in on our live stream, I wish you could be here to see them in person, because they really do represent this culture and everything that we're doing out here. I really appreciate it. We're getting close, believe it or not. We have 2 more speakers to go, and then we're going to get to the business at hand. But I want to introduce our National Service Project Chair. Again, it's always about leadership. And 5 years ago, when Dave Packer came up with his idea, and he went to Lou Falk and said, hey, would you be willing to be the National Service Project Chair and come up with an idea, run a study, and put together a team of people to make this thing happen? Lou Falk said yes. And what you get to know about Lou Falk is that he loves to travel. He is probably on the road 48 out of the 52 years of the year. I can't believe how much he travels. He's always got his wonderful wife, Mary, by his side. But he finds time to put his passion, his commitment, his joy, his love, and his dedication to making this project happen. He has led us through all kinds of discussions and problem solving. This project did not always have the smoothest things to work through at times. There were challenges that we had to do, but Lou was always able to keep us in good humor and keep us moving forward. And he has this infectious smile that just makes you want to serve and be next to him. So Lou Falk, representing what this YMCA alumni organization is all about, I would ask you to come forward for a few remarks. Without Lou, this project doesn't happen. So how about some big thanks out of the drum?
I know that the mind can only absorb what the butt can endure. And you all have been sitting much too long. So I want everyone to stand up and rub the butt. Get some circulation, your own, please. Get some circulation back in. All right, now you didn't escape, so sit down. I thought about starting the speech by saying, Privyet, как dela, arigato, Buenos Aires, but nobody would understand that. Okay. Very quickly, the NSP came about in response to the National YMCA Alumni's long-range plan under Dale Packer's leadership, not Dale Packer's leadership, to fulfill the serve component of Connect, Travel, and Serve. The NSP, National Service Project, was devised to serve YMCA alumni. Our original intent was to find a project to serve YMCA alumni. The YMCA of the Seven Council Fires is a recipient of the project, but not the reason the project came about in the beginning. It was devised to serve YMCA alumni to give purpose to YMCA alumni membership, to attract new and soon-to-be retired YMCA staff, and to allow for greater involvement by our membership, thus increasing the number of both new and renewing members and making YMCA alumni a stronger organization. So everybody up here has already talked about how this came about, and we ended up with this project. But the important thing to note is that all 1,500 members of YMCA alumni across the United States were represented in the choosing of this project by their chapter representatives. So everybody had a voice. This wasn't decided by Lou, it wasn't decided by Dale, it wasn't decided by George. It was decided by all 1,500 members, and that has greatly contributed to our success. Task force, someone mentioned it, our attendance at our monthly meetings has been over 95% of our chapter representatives. Now, I will admit that having COVID strike at the very beginning and the fact that nobody could leave their house certainly contributed to the fact that people were looking to talk to each other on Zoom. But I think that 95+% attendance over 5 years by the chapter representatives is awesome. The selection of the process was endorsed by a 100% unanimous vote of the chapter reps and by a 100% positive vote by the National YMCA Alumni Board. I want to quickly tell you how we chose this project. We measured 37 different suggested projects against a series of attributes. The first attribute that we measured it against was the challenging. The project should challenge our membership and chapters. It should appeal to newer, younger members as well as those who have been retired for many years. It should have local roots, global impact, and be exciting. The project should be achievable. We must believe that we can achieve success. The project must be sustainable. The project should stretch over multiple years, building on the foundation each year. The project should be impactful. The project should have donor appeal. all of our members should be able to be involved in one way or another. All 1,500 Y alumni members, whether they are physically fit, like George Painter, or have a belly, like me. All should be available and involved. To show their support at the very beginning, the 19 members of the task force collectively pledged $34,000. That was an initial pledge from the National Service Project Standing Committee, and that grew very quickly once other donations started coming in. I do want to mention, and those people who have done fundraising would say that if you can collect 90% of the pledges that are made for a project, you're doing great. We have collected 99.6% of the pledges. Isn't that awesome? You know what, while I really love and I really do appreciate that beautiful quilt that was bestowed on me last night, I really do feel it should be cut into pieces and it should be shared with a whole bunch of other people. There are some people that I want to mention. I'd like them to stand when I call their name. These are the behind the scenes people that we don't see, but who did yeoman service. And first I'd like to ask Rich Wallace to please stand and be recognized. Rich is the man who recorded the pledges and collected the pledges and took in the registrations for every program, every wave, and Rich did it all remotely and beautifully. And thank you, Rich. I want to recognize Diane. I hope you're looking at me right now, Diane Clark, because I'm going to say thank you to you for being our treasurer and writing about 6,000 checks over the course of 5 years as a volunteer. Those who have run YMCA branches know if you have a YMCA branch with $1 million budget, how much is involved and how much you have to pay a bookkeeper. We didn't pay Diane anything, and she's worth $1 million to us. I also want to recognize Cindy Koenig. Cindy, stand up. You are standing. I'm sorry. Cindy received the checks, did all the deposits, and these $1 million come in $50 checks. So that's an awful lot. Thank you, Cindy. Of course, we have to thank Annie. I don't know where Annie went, but there's Annie. Annie has been just a joy to work with. She is everything you would expect her to be. She is just awesome. And finally, I want to mention Kathy Dunn. Kathy Dunn, you probably don't ever see or hear from unless you're involved in grant writing. And Kathy is our grant writer. Almost at the end, but these are the people who made it happen. When I call your name, if you're here, please stand. These are the chapter representatives who met every month. Bob Martin from the Willis chapter. George Painter from the McBurney Morse chapter. Harriet Hoskins Abraham from the Weatherford chapter. Michael Graves and Gary Graham from the Central Atlantic chapter. Harry Rock from the New England chapter. Steve Gunn, stand up in your chair at home and wave to us. There you are. Hi, Steve. Steve Gunn from the Chambers chapter. From Greater Ozark, we have Nels Bagnardi. Nels is the most positive cheerleader I've ever met in my life. From the Mott chapter, we have Nick Zimmer and Connie Zimmerman. Upper Midwest chapter, we have Don Gardner and Don Kerr. Don, stand up. Hoosier Buell, we have Dan Sager, Big Dan. Linda had to leave, but at Messer Brandenburg, we had Linda Dean as their chapter rep. Out west in the Allen Stone chapter, we had Gary Huff and Mike Robinson. Grand Canyon chapter, we have Bill Moss. The Lion chapter, we have somebody who said at the very beginning, Lou, I'll take the position until I can find somebody to take my place. We have Paul Andresen. Marston chapter, Steve Rowe, where are you, Steve? Schreiner chapter, we had Carmelita Gallo, and now we have Elizabeth Seth. McCoy chapter, Bob Smink and some guy named Lee Mucky. Ad hoc members, we had Craig Altschul, man who puts up the websites, sends out the newsletters. We had Phil Morgan serving with us. We had Gene Carmichael for 3 whole years. And I think that that's the complete list. So I want all of those people at home and people here to stand up and be recognized, because you guys are the ones that made it happen. And if the quilt wasn't so doggone pretty and beautiful, I would cut it up and send each of you a snippet of it.
The most important job of an executive director, CEO, keeping the microphones coming. So, yeah, we've gone through a couple mics, which means we're now coming to the end, believe it or not. I feel sorry for you out there in the sun. I had to put my hat on because I was getting sunburned up here, standing out on the sides. But I am really, really, really excited to bring up George Painter. He is our boots on the ground. He's our construction manager. It's all, projects like this is all about leadership and commitment and personal sacrifice. I mentioned earlier that George had given up 22 weeks of his own life just to be here when the crews were here, when the waves were here, not counting the times that he had to come in ahead of time to meet with contractors and with Andrew and working out all the things that had to be done in the multiple meetings that he is committed to. He is done with this project, and he's moving on to 6 weeks of a well-deserved vacation with his wife, touring around the United States in their travel trailer. But we are blessed and so fortunate to have had someone that understood what the mission and the vision of this was to be, had construction background to understand the problem solving that had to go into this. And there were some significant challenges that we aren't used to in the East that we had to deal with here. But his passion and his commitment to make a difference for this Y was just unmatched and unparalleled. So with that being said, George Painter, where are you? There he is. George Painter, a nice round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. I'm from upstate New York, near the mountains and the lakes. And where I live, it was the home of the Algonquin and the Iroquois and the Mohegan and the Abenaki. And we have done a project here that is amazing. We've had volunteers. I represent the yellow shirts. We've had volunteers from all the way from Florida to Washington State and the Seattle area, and from Bangor, Maine, all the way to Southern California, and every state in between. We represent 34 different states that came here, and people that came to hundreds of volunteers to make this dream happen. Speaking for the yellow shirts that are here and that are watching live, I have to say that we are not happy. We are not happy with how our ancestors treated our Native Americans. We are not happy the way our past governments have broken promises and treaties. And we didn't want to be stuck in a cycle of frustration of past history. We knew that to do something, you had to do something now. This whole cycle of frustration we could break out of it, do something now and for the future. And so we came and we worked here, and what you see is our final product. And we are so proud of it. We are so proud of it. It's been a lot of work and a lot of fun, and it's a great day to dedicate this. I'll tell you, we are very happy, all deeply happy for the YMCA of the Seven Council Fires and what they do on this reservation. We are so happy with the programs that we have seen for children, for families, for elders. We are so happy with Andrew Corley and the staff that he's put together and the volunteers that he motivates, and what this YMCA is doing. It is incredible, and it warms our heart. And of all their programs for children, day camp and resident camp and meals that they provide, they now have a new program, transitional housing for families in need. And we are happy as YMCA alumni to give this Morning Star community to the YMCA. We're very happy with you, and we're very happy. We're inspired by the YMCA here. And now we're ready to cut these ribbons. So we're going to cut all 4 ribbons, and we're going to open up the houses for tours, take a look in them. And we have our group. We're going to start with the east. So we have people with scissors, and we're going to tear these ribbons down, and we're going to open up the Morning Star Village. So the Morning Star will turn to the east to a new dawn for the YMCA and for the people on the Cheyenne River Reservation. As the sun rises, we turn to the east and cut the ribbon and take it down for the eastern house.
Okay. This lady's just. In just a second. Cut that ribbon, and I'll tell you when.
And here we go.
All right, there we go. Yes. Right.
With me when you're doing it. Yeah.
You did great. Those are good scissors too.
And now we turn to the south. And we cut the ribbon. we turn to the west. And now to the north. The north house of the Morningstar Village.
And with that, these homes are now the property of the YMCA, the 7 Council Fires. Our deepest appreciation and privilege as YMCA alumni and friends of YMCA alumni to have been a part of this project to help this YMCA meet its challenges in its community for the betterment of the people it works with and serves every day. It is all about doing good in this world, and we've done some good today. And we thank all of you for your part in being here. We're excited as we close down phase 1 of this project, of the National Service Project, that as of this morning, Steve Rowe, where's Steve? Raise your hand, Steve, I don't see you. Over here, Steve Rowe, right here, has agreed to be the coordinator for the development of the Twig Program Center in LaPlante. And that project will be taking on, that was our second phase, that will be taking place in the coming year in 2025. So Steve, thank you so very, very much for your service. That also means to all of you yellow shirts out there and online, our work is done. We have another year, we have another project, and it's exciting to continue to serve the YMCA, the 7 Council Fire, with the actual development of the Twig. Okay. And I also want to let everybody know that communications, this is how we continue to get the word out. We have our YMCA alumni newsletter, The Connection. Thank you to Craig Allschultz and his wife and team. The YMCA alumni Facebook page on Wednesdays that I do. So if you're not a subscriber or a member of the YMCA alumni Facebook page, please do every Wednesday. And I've done this faithfully for 5 years. I haven't missed one Wednesday yet of updating what's happening here with our projects. And I'll have a lot of information going forward with the Twig project, and then also our YMCA Alumni Chapter newsletters. To our live stream audience, I want to thank all of you out there for your support. It's amazing what it means to have people behind you to make something like this take place. This was a huge endeavor, an endeavor that a lot of people didn't think could happen. Didn't think we could raise the money, they didn't think we could raise this. But there were a lot more people who believed we could. And it was all of you, it was all of us standing here that made this project happen. So for the live streamers, there's going to be a video that will follow your live stream, so stay connected, do not discontinue at this point. You're going to see a video that's following that. But for the rest of us, we're done, everybody. Congratulations. Thanks so much for being a part of this. We have tours in all of the homes, so please feel free to get in there. We have Ahani here who is going to be dancing for us. and we have our drum circle continuing. So there's still a lot of celebratory activities here. Don't rush off. Thanks so much for being a part of this incredible event. Ahani, the stage is yours.
for what happened today. So if you can make one full circle, we're going to do a closing song. It's called a Wopila Alor, or a thank you song. No, you can just be on. We're going to make a full circle on the medicine wheel here. Yeah, on the wheel. We might have to move out the way here so we can. Yeah. Okay, so everyone come and take part, because this is a closing aloha for just for this part. I'm not saying the day, just for the thank you. It's going to be saying Ocheti Shakuwe Odakuye, the gathering of the relatives of the sacred circle of Ocheti Shakuwe, which is the 7 council fires. And we say Daku Ota Luha. We're saying that you give away everything like what you did. That's the cutoff sign, I think. Okay, and again, it's going to be saying, so whatever you give away, Dosha, okay, again later in the future, as I say, it'll come back fourfold. So next time it might not only be 1 million, it might be 4 million. So you're gonna dance on this gravel part and around that. So someone knows how to round dance, please come and help lead them out. It's kind of just a shuffle right here. Okay, here we go again. When you hear that name, Ocheti Shakui, in the song, then you raise your hand in honor. Usually we try to use your left hand because it's closest to your heart. So when you hear Ocheti Shakui Odakuye, then someone that understands the language, really throw your li out there. For the males, Kishasha, whichever way you're comfortable with. Can't discriminate anyone. Anyway, here we go. Okay, just a little significant. Sorry, I should explain that at the end. We go the opposite direction. That's called about the balance of life. So we go in the clockwise, natural way. There it comes. Okay. Then you go in the opposite direction to create the balance of life, or Lakota, they call it. Lakota, you harmony. Wherever you go in this world, you walk with harmony, peace, and you do the full circle of life and honor the other part. Oh, we are iglushta for this part. Vidakuye ovasi. Doksha ke wachiaka. We don't have a word for goodbye, so we say again later. We will see you and meet you again. Oh, huncha.